Welcome back to the AutoHound, and this is the 2019 Jaguar E-Pace 44,000 mile check-in. Here's a couple of complaints. Number one, it's got this kind of swoop back style, which takes off a lot of storage space in the car. So if there's one thing I don't like about the car, it's the lack of usable storage space. It's big. You could fit a bunch of groceries in there. However, you could also tell that it's not as large as it should be. And that's because it's got this little swoopy thing. However, it's got a really cool spoiler right here. The second thing I want to complain about is the wipers. The wipers on this car are absolutely horrendous. Not the wipers themselves. These are really good wipers. They're hard to replace because they're a special type. However, right here, the windshield wiper arm is made of aluminum, and also down there, the actual motor is made of steel. So aluminum and steel is much stronger. So when too much snow load gets on there, they can actually snap the arm and cause you some issues, so that the wipers will cross over one another, and that can be very dangerous. Getting into the car, you're going to notice right here, the A-pillar comes all the way up, and it's really raked, so that unless you are 4'8" getting in this car, you should have the seat all the way back, unless you're going to hit your head. Don't want to do that. And once you're in the car, starting it is as simple as pressing the start stop button over here, and you can see everything is kind of nicely laid out for you. Right here in the middle, you're going to notice where the comfort modes are and whatnot. This button right here controls those modes. So one of my biggest gripes is that sometimes I'll have it in economy mode and it won't stay there. It'll go back to comfort mode for no reason whatsoever, and that's kind of frustrating. And I've done this with rain, snow, and ice and whatnot. So it has rain, snow, and ice. It has economy mode, which is what I usually drive in. It has comfort mode, which doesn't really change much. I haven't noticed a big difference other than better gas mileage. Maybe the gearing's a little bit shorter. And of course, dynamic mode for when you want to go fast. I don't use dynamic mode a lot. That's when these little flappy paddles come in, and they're really super responsive and very linear, as I'll mention later in the video. So I usually, like I said, drive in eco mode. The other thing is I love the pistol grip shifter. One of my favorite features of this car. I just think it's amazing. It's got the heated seats. It's got all the creature comforts that you want. This infotainment section is not the best. It's responsive. However, it's just not the best. It's got some little bugs in it, and that's kind of a Jaguar thing, I think, with the British electronics. There's the old jokes, of course, but sometimes it won't find my phone, or sometimes it won't connect with my phone. Even when it's connected, the Apple CarPlay won't come through to it. It has a couple of charging ports. It has one down inside here for 12 volt. It also has one in here for your storage. It's got its own micro SD card. It has a 12 volt and it has 2 USBs. So all that, along with the car itself, it makes for a pretty good package. And for what they're going for right now, under $30,000, it's a Jaguar. It hasn't aged, and that's what I really like about this car. The look of the outside of the car has not aged, and it's a testament to cars that are built for longer purposes. So look, the way I look at it is, you've got a great car that's going to last you 150, 160,000 miles as long as you take care of it. And that's kind of the key to it, right? Is that what we all want right now, something that's a little bit more affordable, as opposed to the car market going completely crazy and bonkers. Sure, it's coming down now, but for under 30 grand, you get a nice Jag that looks brand new. And I gotta tell you, I'm pretty happy with it. So we'll get it out there for a drive and see what you guys think. My wife drives this daily. I wouldn't let her get behind the wheel of a car that I didn't think was at least suitable for her. And that's important to me, is the safety part of it. What I did do is I've decided to buy the Jaguar extended warranty. Not everybody works on Jaguars, so if you're going to get the extended warranty, make sure you get it from Jaguar. It's a little bit more money, however, it's definitely worth it. This way you're not paying obscene amounts of money to keep it kind of in tip-top condition. you get an oil change once a year. They go through the whole system. We've had rear brakes changed on this one time. Right now they're still good. I've looked around the whole car. It's going in a couple of weeks, and we'll have the full yearly service done on it. Lastly, I just kind of want to show you dynamic mode, and pop it down into dynamic mode, pop the shifter over, and then you get the little flappy paddle shifters, and boy does it pull. And I love the downshifts. Love them, love them, love them. And it's instant. This car doesn't have any lag to rev hang or anything like that. It just keeps going, and it's really kind of linear in the way that it accelerates, even in dynamic mode. I don't drive it in dynamic enough. I drive it usually in economy. I've been averaging about 25 miles per gallon in the 5 years that we've owned it, which is really good for an SUV. Again, 4-cylinder in turbo with a 9-speed transmission definitely helps with that. The added larger gears will provide you that longer cruising range. You usually get about 400 miles to the tank full. The other startling thing about this car is how insanely fast it actually is. Again, I was mentioning a minute ago, it's really linear. And with it being as linear as it is, you don't realize how fast you're going until you look down. There have been multiple times where I've gotten in this car just driving along, and I looked down and I was doing between 95 and 100 miles an hour. Now, that's fast. And unfortunately, you know, the car is just so, or I guess fortunately, whichever way you want to look at it, the car is so incredibly nimble and tight handling that you don't feel how fast you're truly going. But I love it. I can't say enough about how responsive this car is and how planted it feels to the ground. It's just super, super nice. It's tactile. There's no kind of wishy-washy stuff about this car. It knows what to do once it's on the road. And if you're even remotely a decent driver, you can get a lot more fun out of this car than even I do. And, you know, you can feel comfortable sending your kids off to school in this car, or you can feel comfortable all sorts of weather. We're going to have this car and have had this car in a lot of snowstorms, and it goes through it without any glitches whatsoever. The all-wheel drive system is amazing. It doesn't slip, slide, it doesn't lose traction, it does what you want an all-wheel drive to do, and it handles sublimely. And you kind of can't beat those attributes in a car, especially at this price point. Look, everybody is saying, you know, let's wait till the car market crashes some more, and I don't blame them. But if you're, again, in the market for one of these cars, I highly recommend the E-Pace. It's fantastic at 44,000 miles. It's got its warts, as I mentioned before, but I don't think that those warts outweigh the actual car itself. So I really can't say enough about this car other than it's pretty amazing, and I highly recommend one. So if you like this type of content, please make sure you like, you comment, and you subscribe. And remember, it's about the drive.